Hello everyone, welcome to my attempt number 2 at Sun Dragon Tips and Tricks. Not Rebecca at home because it's Tuesday morning and I'm at the shop. But now I have all my ranunculi. So hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in Brevard, North Carolina. And excuse me, I hope the sound is okay in here. It's gonna be what's gonna be. I'll try the little fun editing thing I do for filming at the shop when I edit things on iMovie. Anyway, so now that I have all my ranunculi here, I also tried to grab the yarn that's here at the shop that I used for it, and sometimes we don't have the color in stock or it's gone or whatever. But my odyssey with the ranunculus. I'm going to showcase all of them in order, and of course I'm running late and I have to go get Hannah in about half an hour, so let's see how we do. All right. And then we have to open the shop. So this is the first ranunculus I ever made. I was wearing it yesterday when I attempted to start my video, and this was when I was like, what is all this hype about? It was probably, I don't have notes on all these, but it was probably like 2018, 2019. This is what I had on display when we were going to do our ranunculus make along. And then the next one I made is what I did all the videos off of. So this one, what I did for this one was made before, sorry, we had, hang on a second. I just had a text come in and I realized that I have a tank top on so I can change, but I want to show how these look with the high-waisted pants, which means I need to tuck my tank top in. But while I'm doing this, I can say this was made before she actually had all the different sizes. Before it was re-released in like 2019, I think. The original pattern only had one size, and then it was for bust modifications of this much, do this for the instructions. So that's what I did with this. It didn't have a certain size. Excuse me. And the other ones, I'm not even sure what sizes I made because I did all of these on a size 10 needle. Didn't test my gauge, just kind of went with something super oversized and said it will be what it will be. So they all fit differently. And again, I didn't test my gauge. I just used the size 10 needle and just said, I'll pick something that has lots of positive ease. So let's try this again. All right, so this, I did a bust measurement, I was accounting for some kind of bust difference off of the original pattern. This I used, oh, sorry guys. This I used Jody Long Alba in the colorway called Kilt. And I couldn't find it on the shelves, but this is the Jody Long Alba. It looks a lot like Rowan felted tweed. I think it's got slightly different fibers in it, but it looks a lot like Rowan felted tweed in appearance and feel. There are 382 yards on 100 grams of this. I use 1.5 balls for this. I did the short sleeves, so just binding off its sleeve separation, and I did the shortest length. I followed the instructions to a T. I didn't do some of my make one left things. I didn't do some of the parts of it right, but it was my first attempt. I really like how it came out, and yes, some of it's see-through, but none of it's see-through here. So if you don't have to wear something underneath this, if you don't want to. Now this one, this is 50% wool, 25% alpaca, 25% viscose. So this is pretty warm, but I just wanted to experiment and see. And like I said, 1.5 balls got me this. I think it looks pretty good. The crop works if you've got high-waisted pants, for those of us who have more curves. So I think I might just do the whole thing standing up because moving the chair around is going to be way too much. So my next one was, I made 2 when we did the make along. I decided, so the pattern is written for anything from a lace weight to a worsted weight. So for the make along, when I made all those videos, I decided to make a lace weight one and a worsted weight one. And this one should be familiar to people who watch the videos, because this is the one I made in all those videos. Making sure that I really should take this ring off. I have my little dragon ring. He catches on everything. He's got spines on his tail. He's got little sharp things. So this is the one I made with Cumulus Rainbow. And so it's with worsted weight. Technically, this is almost a chunky weight. Like this one, this is happy on a size 10 needle. So it looks pretty dense compared to the one I made before, because all of these were made on a size 10 needle. This is Cumulus Rainbow from Juniper Moon Farm. It is a chainette cotton. It is 94% cotton and 6% nylon. And this was Tropical Sunset, which for a while I thought we were totally out of. I thought they discontinued the color, but then they brought it back. So I used 4 skeins for this. And you can see the color change of a whole ball goes to the blue. And then I started with the next one at blue and went back to the red. And then I used 2 skeins to start at the same point of blue at sleeve separation. And I made kind of 3/4 length sleeves. I did her little angled sleeve that's in her instructions and her I-cord bind off for these. And so I used the leftovers. I had 2 balls going from the blue out to make the sleeves. We're gonna ignore that because the shop's not open yet, but the phone is ringing. And then here, because I ended at the red, I had the red parts left over because I stopped at the yellow part on this. So I went from the remainder of the 2 balls I used for my sleeves, I went from the red to the yellow, and then the yellow, the other one to the red. So that's how this part looks the way it does. It all looks like it fades, but it was 4 balls of this used very carefully to keep the color shifts going. That's why there's no more blue down here, because I was using up the pieces from the sleeves to make the rest of the torso. But you can tell this one's much longer. Like, I decided to make this comfortable for me no matter what pants I'm wearing. So I used a lot more yarn for this. And I can't remember what size I made. Most of these with the pattern she has now with the different sizes, I'm at least making a 5 through a 9 to have tons of positive ease, because I am not the skinniest person. So this was number 2. And at the same time, I was making a lace weight one, but this one wasn't gonna work well for the video. I will say my lace weight one has a hole in it now. And I don't know if that's from critters or from just snagging it on something, but this lace weight one I don't wear very often because it snags like nobody's business. It's so delicate. Like, here's another snag. So let me show you though what it looks like on. Again, these are all the same pattern. And I didn't change the size too much. But when I tried different, I want to say this one was size 8 or size 9. I tried a much bigger size. I tried for something super oversized. I made long sleeves with this. And I have to make sure that I don't catch on. Like, I've got all these catches everywhere. I made long sleeves. I was like, this can be a delicate outer shell. That's our tag from when we had it up in the shop. So it is completely see-through because, again, I made it on the size 10 needle. This is Mayu lace, which was like alpaca, silk, and cashmere or something. It is no longer available. We might have a few Surprise Me sale bin support boxes in like yellow. But this is no longer available. But this just shows you, and you can see the hole in the back. This just shows you what a lace weight one would be like. Again, on a size 10 needle. You can see, like, you really have to, if you haven't kind of draped it right, it'll look funky. Like, the lines won't be straight, but that's not because, it's because it's so delicate. It's so see-through. Like, you gotta wear something under this. And it's beautiful. It's not my fashion though. And it's actually, because it's got like cashmere and silk and stuff in it, this is pretty toasty. It's again, it is beautiful. It's pretty toasty though. But this is what happens if you, and I made it super long sleeved. I decided to do a ribbing at the bottom that's just like the ribbing at the bottom of the body and the collar at the top. Oh, look, here's another hole. This is why and again, I don't know if this is because it got snagged on stuff in the move, if there were critters that got to it at some point, but delicate things will get damaged. So be forewarned, right? So that I made at the same time during that make along. That was back in like 2019, I think. Might have been 2020, but you know, so it's super pretty. I never wear it. I wear it to show you guys, and that's about it. So that was number 3. Number 4 has gone the same way as my luminous summer top. Number 4 was I wanted to show off the Vivo, which is a really pretty cotton. Like from here on out, I feel like I've made a lot of stripy ones. So this one, Vivo is 100% cotton. It is so yummy, and like the drape is lovely. Again, I did it on a size 10 needle. This is a DK weight, so it's one that's right in the middle. Excuse me. Allergies are just a bear recently around here. We've had so much rain. So the fun with the color striping is then people think you change colors on purpose. Like one of the little, that little bit of accent there with the yellow, they're like, ooh, you did that little spot in this little color. And it's like, that is just what happened with the yarn. Short sleeves again. If you bind off its sleeve separation for the short sleeves, they will be very open, especially if you're doing a bigger size. And I did that for this one and the next one I did. Like, so I have 3 of them that have this. I followed the short sleeve instructions. And with your arms down, it's super cute little cap sleeve, you know, but there's a big opening there. So if you don't like exposing that much of either what you have underneath it, your bra, whatever, that's a problem. That could be a problem. I definitely didn't do the cropped length for this. The Vivo, I can't remember. It's been discontinued. So I love this one. I love how it fits. I love how it drapes. We don't have the yarn anymore. I think if you did this out of something like the Sammy that we have in the shop, which is a really soft cotton, but it's solids, you would get something to this effect and it would be lovely. But this is from Barocco, and I feel like they keep making these fun summer yarns and then they don't last long. So we make, like, if I make a sample out of it, it's gonna be gone. So I have nothing, I can't show you what this was made out of because it's gone. But this was really fun, and I made it longer to make it more comfortable for me to wear. And this was not made, this is probably the first one I made after the make along, but it was when my videos were going huge. They didn't really go viral, but when my videos seemed to be helping a lot of people make this, I was like, okay, you know, it's time to make another one. And I was like, I want a summer top. So this is very breathable for the summer. If I felt comfortable with my bra showing, because I'm wearing a tank top, I probably wouldn't wear a tank top under this because like you've got some detail up here, but and there's places where it's a little gappier. It's all your comfort level. It's not like people can really see stuff. So again, knit it on a size 10 needle. That's a 6mm needle. So the next 2 were made a lot more recently. So this one was probably made in like 2021, 22, something like that. I forget when Vivo was a thing, but it was made a lot more recently, but not super crazy recent. But when this yarn was discontinued, then I went, well, I should make another one. So I made one out of Zoe. And this has gotten softer and softer with wear, basically. And And I was like, we had this new variant from Zoe called Zoe Stripes. And when we brought it, we chose to bring it in. We brought in the very newest colorways from it. Were more of a gradient. So instead of like little stripes, it had long color shifts. And I was like, this is so cool. So this one, you know, it's about the same length as the one I made out of Vivo. This is Juniper Moon Farm Zoe is the green. This is the one I forgot to bring home. So, because I was tired yesterday. There was a lot going on yesterday. But if I hold this up, this might be a little shorter than this one. But what I did, I think this one with the DK Vivo, I think I used 2 balls. I just went until it was done at the bottom of the torso. This was 2 balls. I just stopped when I ran out of yarn. If I was wearing jeans and they rolled under my muffin top, I'd feel a little exposed in this. But I just went, this is Juniper Moon Farm Zoe Stripes 211 Mojito. And we got several colorways of this that do this slow fade, and it's really gorgeous. And then they phase this out. I think they still have stripes, but not these colors. I guess they didn't do as well as they'd hoped. They were the only ones I was interested in bringing into the shop. But, so we have some of them left, but we cannot reorder. So again, this was 2 balls. This was, I don't remember what size. It was probably like an 8, something like that. I did the bind off at sleeve separation, her short sleeve version. And then I just went till I ran out of yarn. Played some yarn chicken. Like, her pattern is written to have inches and inches of ribbing down here. And I have like an inch because I was running out of yarn. But it still hangs well. I do think it totally does. Like, some cottons, people say it looks like it like goes at an angle or something. I don't care. I don't look at it that much to be nervous about that. But this is what Zoe is, half cotton and half linen. Juniper Moon has marked it as a 2, as a sport weight. I think it's more of a DK. But again, it's got lovely drape. It is a wonderful summer top. It's going to breathe. It's going to be nice. Then I said, I don't know, I've been on the stripey kick apparently. Because this was 1, 2, 3, 4, this was number 5. My most recent finish is, I wore this for the photo shoot yesterday. This is Noro Sonata. Sonata Shima is this color changing stuff. And it is 35% cotton, 25% viscose, 20% silk, 20% polyamide. So it is lovely and soft. Let me put it on for you. The silk means it's a little warm. I was really warm by the time I was done with the photo shoot. I'm about to put on the outfit I wore for the photo shoot. And I did not wear a tank top underneath it because I knew it was going to be warm. And so cotton blends from Noro with no wool in them are so much softer than the wool variants of Noro. Doesn't mean they're all summer appropriate, or you have to go into it knowing what you're going to do. And again, I did it. This is a sport weight yarn. I did it on a size 10 needle. And I love how the stripes, how the colors show up. I did color manipulate a little. I mean, like, okay, so this green is my favorite green of the entire thing. And when it gets down here, you almost can't even see it anymore. And there's like, it ended up being part of the bind off. I did 2 skeins again for this. I ran out of yarn at the end of this. I had to do like a crazy bind off because I was playing yarn chicken and I kind of failed miserably. But one of the differences, but it, you know, it looks longer and it is a little than the other ones. I did, check out the underarm holes on this one compared to the others that I was showing. We're popular. Someone's trying to call again. I followed the long sleeve instructions to put stitches on a holder when I did sleeve separation instead of just binding them off and keeping on going. And I did, I want to say, okay, you can kind of see where sleeve separation is right in here. I think it's right at the green here. So I found spots in a ball, like the end of one, beginning of another, somewhere in there, where I could kind of make it match because I knew it was going to be short, and you don't have to do that. But I was like, you know, if I didn't have the white and the brown on both those sleeves, no one may notice. But I wanted a little more of a controlled short sleeve. So I did a few inches. I went back and did that in the middle of the sweater. I like stopped here and finished the sleeves and then kept going with the body. And that's why I completely yarn chickened at the very end and actually ran out of yarn. If I'd been a little more careful with like how long my ends were when I switched yarns and things, I might not have had to worry about that. But I didn't want to back out like a whole row and a half and redo it. So here's the fun thing. This is how it looks in the skein. It's one of the benefits of doing this at the shop. This knits up like this. And it's wonderful because people think you used all different yarns and it's one yarn that changes color. So this is my most recent finish. So I think there's 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have made 6 ranunculi. I have used, if we go through them in weight order, this one was lace weight. I don't actually have a fingering weight one. That's gonna be next. This is sport weight. I have 3 that are technically, well, here, let's go this way. I have 3 that are technically DK. It's like the happy mid-range. I think fingering weight's gonna be really pretty too. This is a light DK, almost, I've used this for sport weight patterns before, the Alba. The Juniper Moon Zoe says it's a sport weight. I consider it a DK. The Vivo is a DK. You can see my happy place with the ranunculus. And I've done one worsted weight, which was really a heavy worsted. I think my next one, I'm not sure when I'm going to start it, but I think my next one is going to be a Fiber Spates fingering weight. They're 4-ply. I gave a hint at it yesterday. Here's perhaps in a different color, different lighting situation. This is one of the botanicals. I haven't done much. Botanicals are natural dyes. I know this earthy tone is going to continue. This one isn't as popular as some of our other colorways, which is why I want to give it a shot. This was called Burnt Toffee. And it's almost some Sun Dragon yellows, but it's more of an ochre. And it's got a little bit of browny grays in it. So this should not stripe. This should just have some kind of tonal pockets. And the Fiber Spates 4-ply and DK of both the botanicals and their regular stuff, their separate listings, are on our website. So you can check out the other things we have and the quantities. I don't know if one is going to be enough. It might take 2, like everything does. Depends on the length. I'm just going to see how far I get. I would probably want to do at least short sleeves like this. I'm more comfortable having not as drapey and huge of a hole at the underarms. And I've made plenty of short sleeve ones. I want to play around with long sleeve instructions and then doing whatever I feel like at that point. So I'll keep you posted. There's so many other things going on. I don't think this is going to start right away, but since we're talking about ranunculi, that's my plan for the next one. Because I don't have a fingering weight one yet, and I think it would be lovely. I think the Fiber Spates DK would be lovely as well. It's pretty much almost a worsted as well. It would not be as heavy as my cotton one necessarily, but it would still be warm. So I have all these other things here because I'm really excited that I got the bags I've been making. I'm going to update you a little on those just for a minute or two. I got my bags into the online shop. So if you're interested in having a Stitched by Sundragon bag, my sewing machine is potentially on the fritz. I'm not sure. I have to check it out. But this is the the one that's come out the best so far, in my opinion. It's a Notions pouch, so it's not huge. But I got my little, look at that, isn't that cute? My little Stitched by Sundragon labels are here, and I put, that one I actually machine stitched in. This is leftover fabric from cystic fibrosis fundraising I used to do. And so this has a lovely quilted exterior and is lined, and these guys are like 19 bucks. I have this one. This one's not totally done, but I'm bringing it in to show you. It's more of that rose fabric. It's got a fun zipper. I'm trying the blue lining for a lot of them. I'm trying some basics for lining. I could have fun lining interiors, but I'm trying to save the fun fabrics for the outside. So for Notion pouches, I figured out some stuff about zippers. And this is before I figured that out, but this one's still pretty, and it's lined, and it's fun. And where's the last one? This is my last little Notions pouch. I'm getting better as I go, but this one is just the red rose fabric, which is really pretty. I have so many fun fabrics at home left over from things. This little guy is one of the ones, this is the small size. And if there's no embroidery on it, the small size without a wrist strap is about 30 bucks. This one's got some patterned interior. This is the medium size, it's a little bit bigger. Online, I think I have rough sizes for everything. This one has a wrist strap, and it has embroidery I've done on the front. The embroidery will be the little kits I'm getting off of Amazon to like have fun with, but it's got my hand stitching on it. I will never be making a bag out of the kits we have at the shop that we have for sale, because those are for personal use. But the ones I'm getting more mass produced, but then I'm hand stitching, I will put in bags as a way to share my creativity with y'all. These guys, if they didn't have embroidery on them, would be $45. With the embroidery, this one's $95. And this one has some of the fabrics I have at home that I thought went really well. A little bit of some rectangle quilting on the back. And this one has that blue lining again. So, and then the large size, because this one, y'all have seen it before, but this one I just kind of, it was like go big or go home, because I love this embroidery I did. And it's not my design, but it's my stitching. And it's not one of our designers from that we're selling in the shop. And I love this fabric, I think is K Facet fabric that I got a long time ago. And then I love the batik stuff that I picked up in Delaware, I think, to go with it. And so I did the diagonals on that side, and then I wanted people to see the middle of that fabric has this great like arrow to it. So that's on the back. These guys are gonna be about 95. This one has a brown lining. 95 to 100 bucks without the embroidery on it. So this one retails, it's either 140 or 150 because of all the work in here. But the medium and large sizes are all going to have a wrist strap that I will put on. I just have to go home and see if I can make my machine work again. But these guys are all online. The different sizes have their own listings. And I just wanted to be able to share my creativity with y'all. And if you like them, I hope you'll consider purchasing them to have your very own Stitched by Sundragon item. I wouldn't be able to put a price on all the sweaters I've made. The hours and hours and hours of work. It's just so hard. But I hope, those of you who have found this channel because of the ranunculi, the ranunculus sweater, keep making them, the ranunculus top. I'm going to keep making them. They're fantastic. For people who are like, oh, but what about this other pattern she made? Have you thought about doing videos on those? I've said over and over again, those videos will happen. If I ever do like, here's how to make this sweater step by step. I really need to do that in conjunction with the designer, with their permission. And so far that hasn't happened. The ranunculus worked well. She was not upset that I did that. The papillon that you see behind me, that pattern writer, I had her permission and she knew I would be careful with it. It's hard to do on just any old, and I mean, not any old pattern, like they're not important. They're all important. It's hard to do on a pattern without the author's permission moving forward. And so people keep asking, will I do this pattern or that pattern? Or it would have to be a collaboration with the pattern writer, and I would have to be very careful with it. And that opportunity has not come up yet. So thank you all for following me. And if you haven't subscribed already, please consider. We're over 20,000 subscribers now, which for little old me is awesome. My next live is going to be September 1st. And so we've got one more Monday, I think, before that. So I'll try to figure out something fun to share or just update you on my progress. We'll see. So I got to go get Hannah so we can open the shop. And I'm going to leave you all now, but may your crafting be filled with joy and confidence. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.